The next section's really interesting. It's about the Clyde. I used to work there when I was a welder. I was an apprentice welder and then a welder proper. And so I've got three clips here. The first one is from a film made about the Clyde called Seaward the Great Ships. And actually, this film won an Oscar. It's for the documentary, in the documentary section. And when I was an apprentice, we were taken to see this in the Lyceum Picture House in Govan in Glasgow. And we were all the apprentices, engineers and all the guys, welders, riveters, caulkers, platers. We were all taken there, and so were all the guys from the other shipyards. The cinema was a huge movie theatre, full, you know, bodies everywhere. And we're watching this thing, and of course, we were all bears, we were all Glasgow, you know, big Glasgow hard men, all dirty faces, big Clyde-built people. And the movie came on, and at one point the guy says, "The kings of prefabrication, the welders," and of course the welders sing it, "Hooray!" and somebody shouted, "Rubbish," or something to that effect. "Who are you talking? So I've never seen it right through, you know. Out, out, animals, out! The second section is the launching of a ship. I've seen many, many launchings of ships, and it's always very moving if you've worked on it. But it's also kind of depressing because you used to be fired after the ship was launched. You know, they didn't need so many people once the ship was gone. And so they would fire a few guys, lay them off redundant and get them back later if they could. But it was always a sad, and they always, the Pathé News or BBC or whoever would turn up and they would get a section of guys, say 12 of you, right, take off your caps and go, hurrah, you know. So every time you see a ship being launched, you'll see these nitwits going, hurrah, as they wave to their jobs, right? and see, if you got a posh voice, you can talk people into anything. And the third part of the film is the workers' takeover of John Brown's shipyard in Clydebank by the workers. The workers' takeover by... Thanks, Billy. You're so informative when you really try. I do this almost my whole life. I said to an audience the other night, the driver was on the bus, he was at the front. And in the clip, the UCS clip, the workers' takeover, Jimmy Reid, who's a great pal of mine, and a man I really admire, he makes a famous speech about no bevy, you know, and no bevying, you know, he says no drinking on the job. But there's a lovely bit where one of the owners, blah, de blah, de blah, is patronising Jimmy, and he just shrugs it. So this is the shipyard bit. Seaward the Great Ships, Queen of the Clyde, and Jimmy Reid.
We've worked and sweated and toiled and now see the expert's hand from stern to bow. She's ready for the torments o' the sea. She's a credit to the Clyde and you and me.
The shop stewards representing the workers are in control of this yard, and there will be no hooliganism. There will be no vandalism. There will be no bevying. Because the world is watching us, And it's our responsibility to conduct ourselves responsibly and with dignity and with maturity.
New management was appointed, but the gritty style was well established.
If I'm asked to help by the government and by the unions, right, with all the financial backing I'll need and all the help I'll need from you,
yes,
right?
Don't shake too much or I won't get any help.
Then...
Yeah, it was a great time in Scotland, that, you know, a great, you know how in every nation, the little, apart from like revolutions and stuff, there are little revolutions, baby ones, little leaps, and people seem to think more of themselves after, you know. It's a great thing. It changed Scotland forever. It certainly changed Glasgow. And just behind Jimmy Reid in that was a man called Willie McInnes. He's also dead now. He was a great pal of mine, a welder. And he said to me one day, what are you going to do about this banjo playing and folk singing and stuff? And I said, well, I think maybe, you know, after next summer's holidays or something, I might give it a go. He said, do it now. He said, today, lunchtime, just leave, don't come back. He said, because there's nothing worse than sitting in the shipyard as an old man, knowing you could have got out and didn't bother. And geez, it frightened me so damn much. It's one of the reasons why I'm here today. I'm going to give you an extraordinary wee look at the Clyde here. This is Stanley Baxter. And there's a famous song, well, if you're Scottish, it's famous. Or if you're Scottish and my age, it's famous, you know. It's the Song of the Clyde. Oh, the River Clyde, the wonderful Clyde. The name of it thrills me and fills me with pride, and I'm satisfied, whate'er may betide. The greatest of songs is the Song of the Clyde. And it goes on and on, listing the various virtues. And it lists all the various virtues of the Clyde. The seaweed is better than yours is. The water is wetter than yours. You know those Scottish songs? The salmon are bigger with many more scales. All that kind of stuff. It isn't white or shade of pale, but it's okay.
I sing o' the river, the old River Clyde. I sing o' the things that the tourist would hide, where all Glasgow sewage goes down to the sea. How it ever flows is a mystery to me. We docks and we shipyards, we oil and we slime. Nae wonder the dredgers all work double time. When first I got wind of it, I nearly died. There's not to compare with the Pong or the Clyde. Oh, the River Clyde, the wonderful Clyde. It's getting polluted by folks far and wide, and I can't forget, though Lord knows I've tried, the things that go out and come in with the tide.
Yay! So that was Stanley Baxter. I've never met the guy, and I'm desperate to, but he avoids me for reasons best known to himself. And God, I think he's great. So now we come on to a wee bit that's a bit less frivolous. Death is like that.